Okay, today I'm gonna be talking about the importance of having an actual male father figure. Um, Growing up as an adult, not only as an adult but as a child, why I feel like it's important to have an actual physical man in the household. So most of it's gonna be from my personal experience. I don't have any kids, but I did babysit. I have 12 nieces and nephews. And let me tell you, without my husband, I don't think I would have ever been able to babysit them. Or I feel like having him improved the situation to help me out. But let's start back from when I grew up having a dad always. My parents got a divorce when I was about 6 or 8. I don't know, because between 6 and 8 or 6 and 14, I'm not sure, because y'all, like I said from my previous videos, y'all know I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana. That's the hood. They got a ghetto divorce. I think before they got like a real legal divorce, a divorce where it costs too much to get a divorce. So y'all just separate and move on with your life, and y'all still married until y'all want to remarry. Then y'all actually pay for the actual divorce. I think that's what my parents did. But I always had both of my parents in my life, and I feel like I'm privileged to have that, especially coming where I'm coming from, because I didn't grow up with a lot of friends. Very antisocial. I was super antisocial, but I have two older brothers and two older sisters, and their personalities are very outgoing. Everybody loved them, and they had their friends come over, and most of their friends didn't have their fathers in their life. Um, so I always felt grateful to be able to have a two-parent household, and even to have a grandmother, and even to have my older brothers and sisters play a part in raising me as well. So for that, I'm very grateful for all the parent figures that I had growing up in my life. And I felt like all of them taught me life lessons that I still carry with me, and they taught me values and stuff like that. Excuse me. So, I feel like it's important to have my dad taught me a lot. He was protective of me. He taught me like, he took my dad was my everything. He took me on my first date. He taught me how a man is supposed to treat me, and he taught me how I'm supposed to treat a man. Like, I remember him teaching, like, when he would open the car door for me when I was old enough to open it for myself. Then he tell me, if a man open a door for you, you need to reach over and unlock his door and open his door for him. So by the time he get over to his side, the door open too. Like, that's the type of stuff my dad taught me. He also taught me that it was okay to like, take your man out too. I don't know if it was because he was broke and I had more money than him that he taught me that. Because I used to he would pay for some of the dates we went on, the daddy daughter dates, and I would pay for some of them as well. So he taught me that it's okay to, like, treat your man properly, which I did when I grew up. I met my husband in high school. We've been together. Um, he's like the only serious relationship I actually ever had. So, like, when he didn't have money and I wanted to hang out with him, I didn't mind paying. Or when we lived together, if he didn't have enough money to pay all the bills, like, it's okay for me to step in and help, or whatever. Like, just take care of each other. Those are the type of lessons I learned from my dad. I learned how to manage money. He taught me how to do my first budget. He opened my first bank account when I was very, very young. My dad taught me a lot, but now I think I know more than him. Well, in certain subjects, I know more than him. But he was the one who sparked those interests for me to go out and learn more. Um, Sorry, I keep getting messages. Okay, you take a picture. I thought I said I'm gonna have to send him a screenshot, but I'll tend to that when I finish making this video. Why I think it's important to have a father figure. He taught me how to be independent. He taught me how to start my own businesses. Um, he taught me a lot. Like, he taught me about taxes and stuff. He taught me stuff that you could never learn in school, and stuff that you can learn from your mother. However, I felt like it would be better if you learn it from your father, just because if it's coming from your mother, you just think that's how women are, and you don't know how men are, like real men are supposed to be. Y'all talking about? So like sorry, I keep getting, what was I talking about? Yeah, how a real man's supposed to behave, not just how a woman is supposed to behave, and how a real man is supposed to treat you. And luckily, all of my nieces and nephews and most of the people in my family do have their dads in their life, except some of my deadbeat uncles. One that I know of. But anyways, most of the ones that I'm close with. Like, my brothers are really good dads, and I think they're really good dads based off my dad being in their life. Like, they knew they wasn't going to abandon their kids, even if they're not still with the mother of their kids, which one of them is and one of them isn't. But I think they're both doing a great job of raising their kids, and their kids are really privileged to have a grandfather in their life, as well as the fathers that they do have in their life, and uncles. So I'm saying all this because yesterday was Father's Day, and there was a lot of women. I would say some were bitter, trying to take the attention away from the actual fathers and giving themselves attention or whatever for being single mothers, which I have no problem with. But if that's the case, I feel like the single fathers should get recognized on Father's Day as well. So that's basically my childhood. I was raised, once my mom and dad split up, I chose to stay with my dad and my brothers. And and my older sisters chose to go live with my mom. And at that point, my sisters, they was like almost grown. Because the oldest one's 8 years older than me. And I know she had a kid at 16. My nephew, now he's 16. Dang, that was 16 years ago. He almost 17. It was like 17 years, almost nearly 17 years ago, y'all. But like, my daddy and mama just called me on video chat. Like, they always arguing, but it's funny arguing. So I guess they still get along. But I like seeing them argue because it's hilarious. And I don't be trying to be messy, but I be instigating the arguments sometimes. Because they just funny, and it's nothing harsh, like I want to kill you, I hate you type of arguments. It's like, it's just, if y'all knew my dad, he's like hilarious. Like, he could be racist or sexist, but what he said is funny, so you don't take offense to it because it's like true, but it's funny at the same time. So yeah, I chose to stay. My brothers are closer in age to me. So my dad kept the younger kids, which consist of my older brothers and me, and my mom got the older kids, which they were basically already grown. They were teenagers, and they acted like they was grown, my older two sisters. However, I did go see my mom on the weekends or whenever I wanted, even if it was school night. Like, my grandmother on my dad's side, I was always with her as well. I was lucky to be the youngest, because when my brothers and sisters, they kind of moved out fast when they were still teenagers, I got to go to their house, and like, I didn't have to just be in one house. I was able to adjust and move around a lot, and I think that helped me as an adult because I'm able to be around different types of people and adjust well and just fit right in. So I think that helped build my character too, just having that many older people in my life. So yeah, both of my brothers were very protective. I think the younger brother that's right above me, I think he was the most protective, but he used to lie to me to protect me. But he didn't have to lie. He could have just told me the truth, because like y'all, he told me some crazy stuff that I still believed as a grown-up until I actually told somebody else that knew better, and they're like, that's not true. I'm like, really? But he told me this. He told me all this stuff, and I believed him. Shout out to my brother. You know who you are. The other one, he was just always very protective. Like, if anybody ever did anything to me, he would stand up for me, like everything. I think one time he even went to jail for me, my oldest brother. Um, so I was very lucky to have that many people care about me growing up. So, as an adult, having my father in the household, I felt like that helped me choose a better husband um, than the type of guys I probably would have chose had I not had my brothers and my father in my life. I probably wouldn't be in an as stable relationship as I am. And my husband, let's fast forward to this year. We decided to babysit for an extended period of time my nieces, which would be my first time actually being responsible for somebody else's life. And let's just say, if I didn't have my husband, I don't know if those kids would have made it back home. So my husband, he never raised kids either. He never actually even held like a baby. The kids were 3 and 4, and he just helped like with discipline. I don't believe that kids take women seriously when it comes to discipline. Like, a man's demeanor and his presence just says, just like, no, just his demeanor just makes kids want to act right and be good, right? Because he's in, like, the man just have to look at them and they be scared. Like a woman, they can tell we're kind and caring and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It's just having his presence there. So he could just look at them and they start acting right. Or, but they would probably just run over me and drive me crazy. So if I didn't feel like doing something, he would help me. Like, if I didn't feel like cooking, he there to cook for me. He teaches them stuff. He plays with them. My nieces and nephews love him more than they actually love me. It's evident because they always just want to play with him and talk to him and stuff like that. Like, when they call me, they really not calling me. They just calling me to talk to him. So I'm like, okay, that's cool or whatever, I guess. Just like him more than you like me, even though he not your real uncle. He just your uncle-in-law, and I'm your auntie. Like, I'm your real aunt, but whatever. Whatever, y'all have y'all relationship and whatever, but it's just so important for the actual have a man in kids' lives. And even as a woman, I remember my brother telling me that everybody needs somebody. Like, it's not a want, it's a need. Like, you're better off with somebody else, with a life partner, because life is already hard and difficult, and you always going to need somebody to call on that you can depend on, and that's going to be there and try to be understanding and just help you through life's journey. With that being said, I wanted to talk about the so-called black community and welfare and the government. So let's talk about welfare and food stamps and stuff like, in Section 8 and stuff like that. So some people believe that Section 8, matter of fact, let me do a part 2 about that, because we're going to break it down. So this is the end. Y'all go look for my part 2. It should be like right under here somewhere. I'll probably put a link in the description eventually of this part to part 2. So bye, you guys.